Now, if you ask anyone who's raced here, they'll tell you, nowhere in the world is more important to get a high qualifying position than here on the windy, chicaney, challenging streets of Monaco. We're about to set the grid for tomorrow's race, but potentially for the end of the race too. So welcome along, everyone, to the Monaco Grand Prix qualifying.
Hello there, everybody. It's Joe here, and welcome back to my F1 25 My Team Career Mode. This is Round 8, Season 1. We are at the jewel of Formula One's crown, the Monte Carlo circuit for the Monaco Grand Prix, the most famous street race in the world. And yeah, I'm just bigging it up here. I honestly, this circuit is tough. It is uncompromising, and I struggle with this one, I'm not going to lie, so I'm not overly looking forward to it, but I'm hoping that we can pull out a strong result nonetheless. Any mistakes we make here will be badly punished, but so far, P7 in Q1, which became P11, I'll take it. Qualifying is super crucial round here, as it's very, very difficult to overtake, damn near impossible. But as long as we find ourselves in the top 10, I'm confident that we could maintain that if we manage to pull off a race without mistakes anyway. Heading into the tunnel in Q2 then, and the lap is feeling good, the car is feeling good, and actually I'm building some confidence as we head through this lap. And I'm really starting to push now as we find that confidence. And, well, that just shows you how hard we are pushing, because we topped Q2 by 1,000th of a second, but we still topped it, which is insane. And, of course, enough to get us through into Q3. But let's just pause on that for a moment and celebrate the fact that we topped Q2. That is incredible, and it shows that the development of the car is definitely going in all the right directions. I do feel like we need to start making improvements to the powertrain, but round here, the top end speed isn't going to matter so much, and when it comes to qualifying, we are able to put the car into P6, and you know what? That is not too bad at all, and that puts us in a great position for the Grand Prix ahead of us.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The car off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Piastri, George Russell and Tramnitz, Hamilton, Ocon, Tsunoda and Gabriel Bortoleto, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Lawson, Hadjar, Doohan, Alex Albon and Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Behrman, Maloney, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who
P6 on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix. Forgot to establish we're racing as Tim Tramnitz. 39 laps, we're underway, and we've got a very nice start. Past Russell, going down the outside of Piastri. Are we going to make this one work? Yes, we do. What a move there into turn 1 and up into P4. That is a sensational start, getting past 2 of our rivals, and I'm now going to try and push to stay as close to the front 3 as we can. Charles Leclerc leading the race, Max Verstappen in second, Lando Norris in third. We're having a look to the outside there, but Norris covering us off at the moment and holding on to that podium position. 1, 2, 3, 4, Leclerc, Verstappen, Norris, Tramnitz, Piastri, Russell. That is your top 6 at the moment. lap 2 of 39, and we are staying with the front battle. And Lando Norris getting off the chicane a little bit wrong there. And I was tempted to have a look, but that would just be a race ender to do it there. So we're not going to commit race suicide just yet as we kiss the barrier very lightly. That will do literally no harm at all. And look at us staying with the front three. Got a couple of new sponsor decals added to the car as well. So the car is starting to look more and more like an actual official team. Although, I'll be honest, half of it looks like someone let the autistic kid loose with the stamp. Anyway, back to the race. It is lap 8 of 39 and we're still staying with the front three. This is a great drive at the moment. And I really feel like I can push the car as well. We're making an early pit stop at the end of lap 12 because the rear tyres aren't feeling quite as good as once they did. And I was starting to slide a bit more. I was supposed to try and make it go to 15, but I decided to pit in a little bit earlier. And we are now coming out of the pit lane, having had an issue with changing one of the tyres. So that's cost us some time in the pits. But we come out, we have lost a few seconds to Norris. But he's going to be held up by Hulkenberg here. So maybe this is my chance to take advantage of that. He's ahead of Antonelli though, who may end up holding us up. So it's a case of how fast can I dispatch of the Mercedes? The answer is really quickly, because look how quickly we're catching. A 3-second gap reduced to nothing in the first sector, which shows just how much the tyre advantage is a big thing here. And we're going to go round the outside of the chicane of Antonelli, and that is an on-track overtake at Monaco in one of the most unconventional ways. Look how much Hulkenberg is holding everything up. Norris, he's going to be there spitting blood trying to get past him. As we now head to the Rascas, I'm looking to the outside. We're going to try and go around the outside of the Rascas of Lando Norris. That's 2 on-track overtakes that we've seen in this Monaco Grand Prix. I'm now going to set after Nico Hulkenberg. But if we can stay ahead of Lando Norris, that puts us effectively P3 in this race and potentially on for a second podium of the season. We're chasing down Hulkenberg now, having a look to the inside. Hulkenberg covers. I've outbraked myself and got into him, and Hulkenberg spun the wheels himself anyway, lighting it up. Round it goes. That was nothing to do with the contact we had, and the red flag comes out. I went into him, Hulkenberg went wide, and then as he tried to recover, he lit the tyres up and round it went. And that is why we have a red flag. Annoyingly for us, that is going to cost us, because everybody in front gets a free pit stop. So we've dropped down to P9, which, wow, that's not too great. But we're underway once again, straight past Sainz, and having a look down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. Them two not really getting away too well, but we've got past them both. And now we're starting to apply the pressure to Gabriel Bortoleto in P6. Getting away well for the second time of asking. But annoyingly, with Haas as our rival, we have Esteban Ocon up in P4. And that is just no good for us. Trying to go around the outside of Bortoleto here. I've run out of circuit though and nearly heading for the wall. So had to back out of that one. But maybe there might be a move on heading into the tunnel. So we're going to use up our battery. And we're going to have a look to the inside. Can we pull this one off? I think we're a bit too far back. Bortoleto has to go across the chicane. But where I forced him off the road, I don't think it'd be right to keep the position that way. So we do back out of that one. Plus, with Bortoleto alongside me, that would have ended in tears heading into what I think is to back. So, No, we're not going to try that there. Next time round, we're going for it. No, we've now got to cross the chicane. So again, I have to let Bortoletto back through. And we're nearly letting Yuki Tsunoda back through. But I'm having none of that and holding on to P7. And now I'm starting to get a bit frustrated because I know we could have had more in this race as we clip the inside barrier and we've given ourselves a puncture. No! No, it's all gone horribly wrong in this Monaco Grand Prix. And we do have another new set of mediums to take, but it means that we're going to have to finish the race on the softs. The mediums just will not go until the end. And that is the biggest hit of frustration going. An unforced error from us that has cost us everything in this Grand Prix. So now it's a case of pushing as hard as we can and seeing if we can catch the pack. We do have some slower cars holding things up deep inside the points. So where our pace has been so strong here, we might be able to catch up and make some inroads. First things first, we're having a look down the inside of Isaac Hadjar, and we're getting that move done. Hadjar's trying to force the issue out of the chicane, but we've already got the place done, and we are going to have to do overtaking on the track here at Monaco the hard way if we want to achieve anything from this race. So down the inside of Lawson we go, and we have completed that move. Next up is Oliver Behrman ahead of us, and if we can get ahead of Behrman, then we can really stretch our legs just a little bit, because he's got some good clear air in front. And down the inside we go. I say he has clear air, he didn't have as much as I thought he did. It looked quite deceiving on the map there. But now we've got Maloney and Gasly, and Maloney's going to be holding things up. We're now trying to have a look around the outside of the Raskas of Gasly, which we're now going to switch to the inside for the final corner. That's not a place you see overtaking, but we have managed to make that work, getting ourselves up into P17, and at the end of lap 31 we made our final pit stop. We did get some clear air, we did have other drivers pitting, but ultimately our pace wasn't enough to overcut anybody. But now we're on a fresh set of softs to the end, and I'm just going to go ham and see what we can do here. First things first, it's Liam Lawson in P18. What can we do about him? Ooh, kissing the barrier again. I've really played there with these walls too much. And we're going to try and go around the outside there. No, that's not going to work, but we're still going to send it to the inside for the next part. And we've got that done up into P18. That was a bit of a barge out of the way more than anything. Next up, it's our teammate Zane Maloney. And I really don't want to be held up by the boy from Barbados. So we are just going to send this one down the inside, use the curb, and we are up into P17 with 6 laps remaining. Where can we end up? Can we end up near the points? That is the question. I just want to see where we can finish. Now it's P15, sorry. No, P16, Fernando Alonso that is next to feel our threat. And we're going to go round the outside of the Grand Hotel hairpin, which switches to the inside for the right-hander, and we take P16. Next up is Lance Stroll, who is in P15. We're really moving up the order here. We're making these overtakes. Every lap, we're just picking them off one by one. Here's Lance Stroll now, and we're going to try the same move as he gets backed up, and the same move is going to work. Taking that line round the outside of the Grand Hotel hairpin, just give us ridiculous traction out the corner, and that is what's allowing us to make headway in this race. 3 laps to go now. We're in P15. Someone's had a big lock up, and our next dive bomb, our next victim is Oscar Piastri, and around the outside we go, and once again making the move work, getting the traction out of the corner and up into P14. Albon is next in P13. Can we push for points here? Is it possible? We're going to have to make a lot of unconventional overtakes in a lot of unconventional places, but Albon potentially ripe for the taking there. with 2.5 laps left to go. And look how close we're staying through the swimming pool section as we head towards the Rascasse. What can we do about Albon? Can we do anything about him? Outside of Rascasse, switching to the inside for the next corner. We're going down the inside of Albon and we're making that work. P13, 3 places away from points. If we do 2 overtakes a lap, we might be able to do it. We will have to do 2 overtakes on the final lap though. First things first, let's get past Antonelli and get up to Jack Doohan. Now we've got Lewis Hamilton and Jack Doohan to pass.
Okay, mate, final
and we've got 2 laps to do it in, but I think Hamilton has just got far enough away from Doohan to prevent us. And it's a shame, given the recovery drive we've had, the overtakes we've pulled off round here. It's a shame that we're not able to bring back any points, considering how hard I've pushed to make this happen. But nonetheless, I am happy with the recovery that we've made. I'm happy with the drive, and we've just got into Jack Doohan. So we've lost a bit of our front wing anyway, but I'm still going to be fighting him for P11 as we come up to the end of the lap. Charles Leclerc wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh, what it might have been for us without red flags and without our mistakes. But it's going to be P12, maybe even P11 if we send this one right. We do send it right, and that is going to be P11. It's P11 for us.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Yeah, we made some mistakes here that were costly, but I'm still proud of the recovery.
Charles Leclerc, what a drive, what a victory, he wins!
Taking victory at their home circuit as well, what a place to do it. The fans are loving it, they're lapping it up, they have been all weekend long, and they have delivered what the fans wanted to see.
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc, Charles Leclerc on top. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Well, it was a race full of mistakes and a red flag, but I'm happy that we were able to claw back P11. I would have been happier if we'd been able to claw back one more position, but it is what it is. Just got to be proud of the drive. Charles Leclerc takes the win. Russell gets second. Verstappen third. Tsunoda fourth. Ocon fifth. Annoyingly for a rivalry, gaining 10 points on us. Bortoletto and Hulkenberg get a double points finish for Sauber, which is incredible. Sainz, Norris and Hamilton round out the top 10. But Gabriel Bortoletto, what a drive. And in the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen still strengthening his stranglehold over the rest of the grid. 54 points clear now of Charles Leclerc, and he's 57 clear of Lando Norris. Yuki Tsunoda also closing in for the battle for second. So it's very interesting there, with Russell, Piastri, Hamilton, Sainz, Alonso and Ocon completing the top 10. We could have put ourselves right in there. I feel like at least without the red flag, a podium would have been on. If not, P6 would have been there for the taking. So, just got to dust yourself off and move on to the next one. Mistakes were made. Let's just move on. Thank you for watching this installment of Career Mode. Please don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, I have been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care, and enjoy the rest of your day.